Im gemeinen Leben kommen wir mit der Sprache notdürftig aus, weil wir nur oberflächliche Verhältnisse bezeichnen. Sobald von tieferen Verhältnissen die Rede ist, tritt sogleich eine andere Sprache ein, die poetische.
Why don't I read a poem? I mean, sure, go ahead. A legal poem. Go ahead. Do you have one? A legal poem? White fog lifting and falling on the mountain brow. Trees moving in rivers of wind. The clouds arise as on a wave. Gigantic eddy lifting mist above teeming ferns, exquisitely swayed along a green crag glimpsed through mullioned glass in valley rain. Nice opening.
I have the feeling that sound is acting, and I love the activity of sound. What it does is it gets louder and quieter, and it gets higher and lower, and it gets longer and shorter. It does all those things which I'm completely satisfied with that. I don't need sound to talk to me.
The flaneur, he wanders, he observes, the Musée d'Orsay. He detaches himself from the art. He sees by observing those around him. He creates his own new art, calls it flannery. The flaneur notices that people interact with the art in different ways. Some to become cultured, others to show wealth or status. The flaneur observes it all. He stops, he takes note, he moves on. For the art of wandering never changes for him.
let me begin by referring to something that I've already discussed. That is, if it is correct, as I believe it is, that a fundamental element of human nature is the need for creative work, for creative inquiry, for free creation without the arbitrary limiting effects of coercive institutions, then, of course, it will follow that a decent society should maximize the possibilities for this fundamental human characteristic to be realized. That means trying to overcome the elements of repression and oppression and destruction and coercion that exist in any existing society, ours, for example, as a historical residue.
Okay. Class, is everyone listening? Now, nothing is original, okay? So you can steal from anywhere that resonates with inspiration and fuels your imagination, okay? Okay. Now you can devour old films, new films, music, books, paintings, photographs, poems, dreams, random conversations, architecture, buildings, bridges, trees, cloud formations, bodies of water, even light and shadows. Now, I want you to select only those things to steal from that speak directly to your soul. All right? Now, if you do this, your work and your theft will be authentic. All right? Now, authenticity is invaluable. Okay? Now, originality is non-existent. So don't bother trying to conceal your thievery. You can celebrate it, if you feel like it. All right? All right. It's not where you take things from. It's where you take them to.
The task of the artist. The task of the artist is to communicate. And to communicate is to go beyond oneself, to move outside oneself in order to share oneself with the other. So the artist, unlike the philosopher, is trying to create perceptions and to transmute sensations such that the perceptual or the sensory world becomes problematic to us in an as yet unforeseen way. So art is a form of experimentation on experience that transforms what had been naturally or innately given into what has now been tampered with, instrumentalized, and transformed or reproduced in some as yet unforeseen way. So the pure past, the past which has never been present, becomes present. The way it becomes contracted or condensed into the duration of the passing moment. And this is memory, of course. And so the artist is trying to become conscious not only of what is remembered, of the products of memory, but of the process of memory itself. Draw up sort of perceptions and concepts, the artist percepts and the philosopher concepts, that then become conscious. So what normally happens unconsciously to us, the formation of our habitual modes of perception, for the artist becomes conscious. We become to intentionally engage it, with craft and skill, and in that way to call forth from it something which had not yet been there. So of course, philosophy and art and science in its own way, these are all creative endeavors. Not simply, it's not simply that philosophy discovers pre-made concepts floating in the sky, just awaiting actualization by a thinker, by a philosopher. Nor is the artist just shedding light on things which were already there, percepts of things which were already there in the world. The artist discovers light as itself the source or the ground of things, so that one does not simply shine light on an already existing thing. When one turns the light, when one shines the light according to a different color or a different shade, one's actually creating new things, not simply discovering things which were already there. Things are a mode of shining, in other words, or light is constitutive of things, and you don't get things there waiting in the perceptual world for the eye to gaze upon. It's the way that the eye gazes, as much as the thing gazed upon, that gives rise to our perceptual experience. So the artist is tampering in this realm of the sensory, right, which is neither simply that which senses or the thing sensed. The sense world, or the sense world separates it from self. Sense includes the perceiver and the perceived, right? And the artist will vibrate the connections between the two, transforming both at once.
For me, painting isn't just about sticking a bit of paint on a canvas or copying an idea. It's about understanding how something feels, translating that in colours and shapes and forms and textures. And these particular pieces explore texture so well. See, I've mapped it out in charcoal, I've started sticking some of the pieces on. They don't always go to plan, they never do. But this one, it needs a little bit more up here just to stick this bit back down, but I've still got some of these wonderful textures that are just starting to creep through, and 3 or 4 layers more, then we can start painting.
I know this is a vision. Everything will disappear eventually. That is important to remember because there's too great a keenness in wanting to transcend. And it's all an illusion in a way. But I just want to be authentic in whatever I do. If it remains for a while, I'll be happy. If you want, probably, if I would need to add a concept to this idea of how to be remembered, it would be just to show individual vision, you know, that each one of us has his own vision, and that we have to find our own voice, and each voice is always original, rather than wanting to be the good illustrator of a good system that already exists as a pre-structure. I want to show that we can all find our own ways of expressing. That's I think, the most important thing for me.
Only on me, alone, unending stars of the night sky. Stone fountain whispers its magic song, to me alone, to me alone. Colorful shadows of the wandering clouds move like dreams over the open countryside. Neither house nor family, neither forest nor hunting privileges given to me. What is mine belongs to no one. The plunging brook behind the veil of the woods, the frightened sea, the word fear of children at play, the weeping and singing, lonely in the evening of a man secretly in love. Temples of the gods are mine also, and mine, the aristocratic groves of the past, and knowledge, the luminous vault of heaven in the future is my home. Often in full flight of longing my soul storms upward, to gaze on the future of blessing. Love overcoming the love, love from people to people, I find them all again, nor be transformed. Farmer, king, tradesman, busy sailors, shepherd and gardener, all of them, gratefully celebrate the festival of the future world. Only the poet is missing, the lonely one who looks on, the bearer of human longing, the pale image, of whom the future, the fulfillment of the world, has no future need, many garlands, bills on his brain, but no one remembers.
Let's see it.